Nisa. I'm Teana Baker-Taylor, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Catherine Coley, CEO of Binance US. Hey, Catherine.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm great. It's super awesome to have you with us today. Let's kick off with Binance US. So lots of people have heard of Binance, but tell us a little bit about Binance US. What's different? What's your value proposition? Tell us about what's new and exciting over there in America.
Yeah, so about a year ago, last summer, Binance US was started to be able to offer the same cutting edge technology that Binance offers the world to American users, specifically targeting a regulated, FinCEN regulated and approved platform to allow people to access, earn, trade digital assets in America. So
Awesome.
That's really where our team, Binance US, began. Being able to leverage the great technology of Binance, but customize it for an American audience.
Awesome. Great. A localized strategy.
Yeah, we're based out of San Francisco, but currently spread out all over the US.
Cool. Well, known for the decentralization of our teams, which I think is one of the real selling points of the firm. Lots of diversity.
Absolutely.
So last week, Binance US joined the Proof of Stake Alliance, which I think is really exciting. And there's a lot of self-governance initiatives around, but this one is really specific. So can you tell me a little bit about it and why you got involved?
Yeah, one of the things we saw, not only just allowing access to trading, allowing people to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, was the ability for folks to begin staking or having a say in the governance in order to earn staking rewards for certain coins. And so Binance US began staking for 3 coins, Algo, Atom, and Tezos. And one of the important things in order to be kind of continuing the health and development of staking industry was to take part in this Proof of Stake Alliance, which brings together the industry's kind of best and most innovative players from Bison Trails, Coinbase Custody, Tezos, Kava. You've got a good selection of folks that are going to be more mindful about how we go forward with a regulation or be, innovation around staking and where we can kind of bring this proof of stake forward.
Yeah, indeed. And so it is, it sounds like you're working toward a set of kind of governance best practices to kind of set the playing field for what good looks like in the staking environment. Does that sound accurate? And how does the consensus work around deciding what are those best practices? What do we need to work on to level the playing field?
Yeah, our primary mission at Proof of Stake Alliance is really to educate regulators as well as lawmakers to the benefit of proof of stake, a consensus mechanism that's more efficient, decentralized, and environmentally friendlier than proof of work.
Sure.
But that also means that the industry group has to begin addressing kind of the regulatory uncertainty that could limit its growth and the adoption of critical innovation, where we need to be able to move forward, especially as key players welcoming people into the staking industry. So that's really where we combine the membership, including lawyers, protocol development teams, kind of investment funds, as well as industry service providers like ourselves.
Okay.
So we're really working kind of hand in hand, especially with the federal regulators, and really hoping to continue to highlight the importance of using staking as a mechanism, but also just to ensure the security of various blockchains, as well as promote sound governance of these networks.
Absolutely. Okay, so I have some of the standards in front of me. Not that you would know them all by heart, but they talk about refraining from investment advice, non-use of financial terminology, focus on security and participation, focus on access to the protocol, and not providing guarantees on amounts of rewards earned. So, it feels a little bit too like it goes back to, treating customers fairly and ensuring that we are clear about what the offer is. We describe it fairly. Everyone has the same level of access. And if they don't, then what do they have? But I think the use, or the use of non-financial terminology is a really important one, because I think oftentimes when we're trying to get people involved in the space, we can be really technical about things, whether it's the tech or whether it's the finance. And I know you're really focused on inclusion and getting more people involved in the space. So, of that list that I kind of just read out, what are the tenets around what Proof of Stake Alliance is trying to do that specifically kind of resonates with you and your business?
Yeah, we absolutely want to strengthen that trust that people have in proof of stake ecosystem. So along the lines of not pursuing tricky terms or difficult jargon that's going to prevent people from really truly understanding what's happening is a huge component. I often stand by the motto of educate, don't intimidate. And oftentimes big words, or not even big words, but words that we've heard over and over in the financial system might not be totally aligned with how proof of stake works. So using things like dividend yield or interest payments, those are all things that connect to another type of financial offering, but mislead people oftentimes when it comes to staking rewards.
Yeah,
so we really want to make sure that we're providing kind of a common language that people can use when they're discussing staking, so that we don't have misalignment or misinterpretation of what staking actually provides. Which on the positive side of what staking really allows you to do, it allows you to have a say in kind of the governance or the access to it, or what does that mean from a standpoint of accessing staking rewards, really what's being provided for you. So that's where we're excited to be able to offer this to more people, especially our users of Binance US, and to allow for more coins that have proof of stake as their kind of consensus mechanism, be able to offer staking rewards to users through a platform.
Yeah. So staking rewards and proof of stake versus, stacking sats and Bitcoin's proof of work, right? I don't like to identify with any kind of crypto camp, right? I'm pretty agnostic. You're pretty agnostic. I'm working for an exchange. It's our role to be agnostic about technology, right? But what do you think the opportunities are for individual investors around that staking? Is it just to have a say, or what's the upside?
Yeah, a lot of that you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Whereas we can call it agnostic, but I'm definitely pro freedom of choice for our users. So giving them a full array of opportunity to get involved in, whether it's proof of work, whether it's consensus algorithm, whether it's proof of stake, those are all, among a bunch of other varieties that we allow for the tokens that are listed, or the ways to which you can get involved in digital assets through our platform. But in terms of what are the advantages of people being able to stake within a centralized marketplace, it allows them to be able to nimbly move between their strategies of investment that they choose in their own path. So I think that's one of the important things, is being able to provide alternatives that let people engage in a way that's both secure and convenient for them, and also do a lot of the hard work for them of calculating where their rewards are coming from, being able to distribute them, and kind of alerting you as well when the rewards are distributed. So that's really some of the ease to which our platform can be offering it. But the wonderful thing about proof of stake is that you don't have to be reliant on a Binance US in order to partake in that, and that's where we see plenty of groups as well, doing the staking on their own. Plenty of venture funds already heavily involved in the staking ecosystem, not needing to rely on one platform in order to allow that. We just simply include it in our selection of items that we offer, product features that we offer for folks to be able to do so nimbly between actively trading to actively earning.
Awesome. That's great. Proof of Stake Alliance is not the only industry body that you belong to. So I believe you also are a member of the Digital Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about why you got involved with them, and is it still along the same lines of that education and growth?
Yeah, one of the steps we made coming into the US marketplace quite a many years after the first crypto marketplaces arrived in America. We wanted to make sure that we were, still on that front foot of being able to promote the use and acceptance of digital assets, especially in the United States. There's a significant impact that Binance globally has had around the world, being able to offer access easier to folks, but especially in the United States, the focus on innovation and not being left behind is something that we care deeply about. And that's most of the reason of why we began the marketplace itself, was to be able to push and pursue those steps necessary in order to allow more Americans to access these global digital assets in a fair and regulated way. So our work with the Chamber of Digital Commerce, especially with Perry Ann and her team, is really to make sure that we're on that front foot, leading the way towards getting more Americans, larger groups of folks able to get access to this, these elements that, in my opinion, lead towards building your own financial confidence and giving you a sense of ownership going into the future of money.
Great. Well, I have one last question that's been on my mind the last couple of days. And I've been asked a lot, being, I suppose, a woman in crypto, and joining a large company that is an industry leader in the space. How do we get more women involved in crypto? And actually, in doing some research, I think it's a misnomer that there aren't a lot of women in crypto. There actually are, and those numbers are really growing. And just in our company alone, I think people would be really surprised to learn how many our senior leaders are women. So last question to you, Coley, how do we get more women either involved in the space and actively participating, or get the women that are actively participating to be more visible?
Yeah, it's funny. There was some tweet today that was highlighting something saying, there needs to be more women leaders. And I always scratch at that and say, like, aren't we just leaders? We're not just women leaders.
That's true.
Leaders.
Yeah.
But I also kind of believe in the school of thought of there's a lot to say it, but just do it. And so Binance has just done it. They've put women at the top of their business units, probably more than any company in finance I've seen. So leading the way by actually putting more people in leadership positions, offering those opportunities to more folks. I know our many of our Binance US teams meetings are almost 100% women when we're discussing product or operations, which is incredible. And you have to go, this is different, which is something exciting. And the opportunities in crypto especially are kind of quite unbounded. There's no reason to have a specific gender to lead ahead in digital assets when everything is open and available. It's really an equalized access that I think is super important. So seize the opportunity, ladies, to take something on. I wasn't in crypto 4 years ago. The last halving, I wasn't involved. Yeah. So an opportunity like digital assets where you can apply your experience, continue to grow a team, build a fantastic product. Those are all things that are available to us. So what's holding you back? Just dive in. And interestingly enough, we've seen since the launch of Binance US in September 2019, a 42% increase in women actively trading in crypto.
Awesome.
Which is an unusual growth. And it has to, you have to connect the dots to see that perhaps seeing it is believing it. And that certainly helps. So the more women that are vocal about their involvement in digital assets or just pursuing different careers within it is really helpful to make people realize that the opportunities are all there and waiting for really anyone.
That's great. I think you're absolutely right. I couldn't have said it better myself. So I think we've run out of time, unfortunately, but before we go, can you please tell our viewers how they can learn more about Binance US, Proof of Stake Alliance, and maybe get in touch with you directly?
Absolutely. The easiest way to get in touch with us is through Twitter. We're at Binance US, and myself is at Crypto Coley, Coley. And for learning more about Proof of Stake Alliance, please head to proofofstakealliance.org. And the Twitter for them is alliance_POS. We also have a blog piece written up about them on our website, binance.us. So underneath the Learn at the top of the menu, you can see our blog. So look forward to engaging with you guys there.
Cool. Great. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Coley. It was great to see you.
Thank you. Have a great time on the other side of the pond.
Thanks.